Okay. I still need a few minutes. Alright, there. That should do it. Mystic Eyes of Depth Perception 1. Didn't I do this already? I save? I slowly drift awake. My arm feels heavy as I reach out for my glasses. Looks like I got a fever. Thought crosses my mind, as though it were someone else's problem, but I put on my glasses. My vision returns to normacy, though a tinge of dizziness remains. Symptoms resemble a common cold, but it's just the flush of a light morning fever. It'll pass with time, like giving a cold engine some time to warm up. Someone knocks on the door. After waiting for a moment, pardon my intrusion. Sui enters the room with a bow. Morning, Sui. Thanks for the wake-up call. Good morning, Master Shiki. I see you are awake. Yeah, I slept pretty well last night. I'll get changed and head to the dining room right away. Tell Kohaku that I have a bit of a fever, so I'll be eating light. I'll be eating light today. Of course. Will you be needing a thermometer? No, that's okay. It's just a mild one. I get them all the time. Here are your clothes, then. We shall await you in the dining room. Sui bows and leaves the room. It may be my imagination, but her bow doesn't feel as crisp as usual. Wonder if she's worried about me. I'm just so used to stuff like this. I appreciate the feeling, but it's really no big deal. I mean, if we want to talk about people who've had it tough, who have had it rough, she should see Arcud. That wound of hers was no joke. Still, can't believe she thought tape was a good idea. Just seeing it stressed me out. Next time I stopped before finishing the thought. I mean, she's a vampire. She can heal herself, can't she? Things work a bit differently for her. There is no next time. We won't be seeing each other again. It's better to avoid getting involved with someone like that. Yeah. This is for the best. High time I get this through from my head. Today's Monday. It's the beginning of the week, and I'm eager to get started. I wash my face and get dressed before heading over to the parlor. Akia is sitting on the sofa. It's just after 7, but she's already enjoying her post-breakfast cup of tea. Good morning, Shiki. You're up early today. My waking up early has Akia in a good mood, it seems. Good morning, Akia. You're up early as ever. All of a sudden, I'm struck with a bout of vertigo and grab my head. The dizziness persists. My body beats up like I've never felt it before. Shiki? I hear the sound of a rustling clothes, then footsteps towards me. Is everything okay? Your face is red. Do you have a fever? Yeah, I do, but... Akia comes closer and peers up at me from below. Strange. For some reason, it feels like it's worse when I'm looking at her. Yes, you do seem a little hot. Did you sleep without a blanket? I'm sure it's simply because of the change in your environment, but we mustn't take any chances. Wait here. I'll call Kohaku. You should take your temperature before you eat. Akia looks over to the lobby. She's probably thinking about going over to the kitchen and getting Kohaku. I avert my gaze from Akia in that moment. As I do, my dizziness passes. It's okay. Akia, you don't need to call Kohaku over. It's only 'cause I just woke up. Don't have to worry about We can't leave anything to chance when it comes to your health. What if it gets worse? You're in no position to take any illness lightly with your immune system. Visibly irritated, she brings her hand to my forehead. Her delicate palm is cold to touch enough to send a shiver run down my nape. For the briefest moment, I cease breathing. Akia is right. Something is wrong with me today. I don't know why, but every movement of hers makes me tense. Just watching her causes my temperature to spike. The realization hits me that I might faint if she keeps touching me. Shiki, you're burning up. Akia's words ring through my skull. It feels as if her long black hair and porcelain skin have evaporated into heat and trickled into my head. This is bad. But the feeling will fade. Fatigue must be causing it. My body hasn't had enough time to recuperate. Before I end up doing something incredibly stupid in front of Akia, I make my move. I just remembered something. I gotta go! I brush away her hand and scurry off like a panicked rabbit. Master Shiki? Breakfast will still be another 5 minutes at least. Right, thanks. Where's my bag? Your bag is here. Sui is prepared as always. I thank her and take it in my hand. I'm gonna head out. No need to see me off. Wait, just what do you think you're doing? What about your fever? Listening to your sister is the most important rule of this household. And don't just run in the hallways. Get back here and take your temperature this instant. Aki has come off to the lobby to stop me. But luckily for me, her reluctance to run indoors is slowing her down. Sorry, I'll worry about the rules later. I'm feeling better already, so I'm gonna head off to school. I'll figure something out for breakfast. Let me off this once. Figure something out? Wait just a second. What do you mean you'll worry about the rules later? If they could be brushed aside so easily, they wouldn't be called rules. In her efforts to escape Aki's objections, I burst out of the entrance. I clap my hands together and whisper a heartfelt apology to Akya in my head. Honestly, I'm grateful that she's concerned for my well-being, but I can't just be like... By the way, whenever I look at you, I get so dizzy. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Not when she's so worried about my health. And who knows? And who knows what kind of pain might be in store for me if I came clean. Breathing out a huge sigh, I finally settle down. I should be safe here. My assumption is that Akya won't be immature enough to drop her schedule to come after me. It's so like Akya to be mad about me breaking the rules. I laughed to myself, thinking back to what she said. She may be my sister, but I still can't tell her boiling point is. Guess I'll stop by the convenience store. My wallet's not doing too hot, but I ought to at least eat something. Why am I only ever hungry on days like this? Usually I'd be fine skipping breakfast, but today I'm starving. I'll just grab something small to hold me over until lunch. It only takes a couple minutes to get in and out of the store. I arrive at school 30 minutes earlier than usual. There aren't many students around. But by my count, there's 2 or 3 including myself, though in as little as 10 minutes, the front gate should be packed with students. Naturally, the guardrail is devoid of an unbelievably beautiful woman sitting and waiting for someone. The athletics clubs are in the middle of their morning practice. I watch them out of the corner of my eye as I approach the entrance. Working up a sweat is actually pretty enjoyable. There's something about it that makes me feel alive. But I never wound up joining a club. Sorry about that. Whoops. How do I check the... I never wound up joining a club. I didn't want to burden anyone with my anemia. Plus, my doctor had strongly advised me to avoid strenuous exercise. When I was a first year, I was invited to join a few times. But I always told them maybe next time. And each time I did, I felt distance between us grow. In the end, maybe the feeling of not wanting to get involved with others became a self-defense mechanism. This isn't the time for silly sentimentality. I shout out some support to the club's knee deep in training before making my way to the main building. Well, morning, Shiki. Aren't we early today? Yeah, I got the time mixed up. Good morning, Miss Noel. I run into Miss Noel on the way to the classroom. She seems just as surprised as me to see someone around at this time. Aren't you a little busy bee? Usually when someone mistakes the time, they turn up late. Not really. You're still young, so why not take it easy, you know? I usually do that sometimes. I just show up early. They'll be like, you're way too early. I'm like, yeah, I know. I have like nothing else better to do. I do take it easy, and I'm not really that good of a student anyway. Speaking of which, about missing school last Friday. Don't worry about it. I haven't said anything to your family. It's not a big deal to play hooky every once in a while. That would be more convenient for you, wouldn't it? Miss Noel flashes a devious smile as she utters something I'd never expect to hear from a teacher. My savior. This must be what saved me from the full weight of Akia's fury. Actually, isn't Miss Noel being a bit too lenient for a teacher? It's almost like she has a secret. Shiki, you're so uptight. I take my job very seriously, I'll have you know. I just care about the independence of my students. You're all so young, I could just eat you up. There's nothing wrong with stretching your legs for the day, and have fun. Well, I wasn't exactly having fun. I'm just kidding. I know, you're a Mimia, right? I know you're not going out and playing with fire or anything. Are you feeling better? You hurt anywhere? It sounds like she's genuinely worried about me. Miss Noel actually wasn't too far off the mark with her joke, but I won't be correcting her. The anemia is better. I feel really good today. Glad to hear it. I hope you're ready to settle back into being a student. By the way, when did you become anemic? Were you born with it? No, I wasn't born with it. I was in an accident when I was little. Oh, how terrible. And that's why you can't exercise or eat much? So what happened? Excuse me? My voice slips out at the unexpected question. Miss Noel licks her glossed lips and speaks. He thinks I'm a vampire or something. I asked you what happened in your accident. You were serious enough to screw you up, wasn't it? I bet it was excruciating. The whole ordeal must have made you bawl your eyes out. And once it was over, you felt like you had been born again. An indescribable dread takes hold of me. Not from insensitivity. It's been obvious from day one that she's a busybody, and I don't think she's great at reading the room. What makes me hesitate is that I don't remember a thing about the accident. It's just a regular accident. I'm still here, so it can't been too bad. But I should get going. Class is about to start. I bow before moving past Miss Noel. Shiki! I turn around in response to hearing my name. If you're feeling better, no more unexcused absences, okay? It's for your own good. Returning from France winks before leaving for the faculty room. I thought I'd be the first one here, but a few of my classmates are already in the room. You're here early, Shiki. Where were you Friday? Morning wasn't feeling good? You done with practice? Yep. They even tell us to cancel those now. Lily now got a new captain. How's he supposed to step into the new role if we can't practice? Even the sports clubs are feeling the effects of all this vampire business. Though that'll soon change. That stuff is over now. Things should go back to normal. "5 minutes till homeroom. Just as I'm bracing myself for a full day of classes. Good morning, serial skipper. Is this Arcud, I'm guessing? A voice from behind sends my peaceful morning shattering into 1,000 pieces. Okay, no. Sup, punk? That absent on Friday was dope as shit. With your sorry ass here, my morning's looking... Wait. You seem fine. L-man? I thought you spent the whole weekend conked out in bed. Nope. And I wasn't anemic either. I didn't feel great on Friday, so I went home to get some rest. I felt better but it wound up being too much for a pain to make it back to school. You gotta be shitting me. You spend 3 days living in the good life there, and you're already one of them, huh? You could roll up anywhere and live just fine, huh? Not that I'd want to live in a big ass mansion. Who the hell would want that? Am I right? Arihiko puts up a brave front. I could probably learn a thing or two from him. I'm still not wild about it, to be honest. You have no idea how massive it... Wait. Have you seen the Tono Mansion before? Nope. One moment. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Nope, it's way up on the hill, boxed in by the wall and a bunch of trees, right? No one's getting a good look at that. I'd love to check it out, but isn't security there like Fort Knox or some shit? How would I know? Actually, I think Keiko said there's a couple of break-ins every year, but the cops never get it called. You ever heard of anyone breaking into the mansion on top of the hill, have you? Hang on a damn second. There's been a couple of robberies every year, and the cops have never been called? Isn't that spooky? You think? If they're catching burglars before the cops even get to them, wouldn't that mean that the place's security is top notch? That's what I'm saying, dude. Where do the burglars even go after? I get you. That must be why no one hears about any break-ins. We nod our heads in agreement. Afraid of where this train of thought might lead us, we quickly decide to change the subject. Oh yeah. Have you checked out the damage from Saturday? You know, the fire on the north side of the station? No, not yet. I've only heard about it. You know that old department store by the... that old department store by the north exit? The park in front of it totally collapsed. It's just a big-ass crater now. They're saying it'll take a whole year to fix it. But I guess it's not all bad. With the cops and the press all over the place, those assholes have screwed off for good. Oh yeah, what about the hotel near Kurabashi Station? You must mean the Dome Hotel, right? That was where there was a fire there too, huh? Stuff near the station was so crazy, I totally forgot. Can't blame Arihiko for feeling so indifferent about it. An incident of that scale, which claimed so many lives, is still just a story from another town. We live in a time where we're flooded with news. Even when we hear something terrible, it's quickly overwritten by the next tragedy. And nothing changes. The world's still pretty fucked up. Anyway, what's up with you? Back in middle school, you never missed a day of school, even with your condition. But then again, I guess there were a couple of times where you bolted right after coming in. The same thing. I made it to the crossing in front of the school, but started feeling like crap, so I went home. Yeesh. Both you and Yumizuka are Breaking Bad, huh? Can't really deny it in my case, but what's going on with Yumizuka? Been absent since last Thursday. She's not here today either. She was always a model student. Guess things were looking good on the flop, but she decided to fold before the river. Arihiko certainly has a way with words. Shoot, gotta bounce. See ya. You better hit the books and make it for Friday. Arihiko hurries out of the room. He seems excited about something. I'm guessing he's going to hide out in the nurse's office. It's his turn to ditch class, it seems. The moment lunch break begins, Arihiko reemerges, yawning. It's obvious he's been sleeping this whole time. Ugh, now that was a nap. Let's go grab some grub, Shiki. I'm positive Arihiko's mind runs on endless loop. Eat, sleep, sex, repeat. Has sex? Any too young? That's fine with me, but wasn't your new thing eating with CL? What, lunch with CL? Arihiko pulls a sour face at my question. She must have turned him down today. We eat lunch together. Arihiko is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed after his nap. Let's see, Soya Station incident. Damn, no updates. Phone in hand, he scours the web looking for new information. Being disconnected from the world for even a few hours is a life or death matter. You'd think he was just addicted to his phone like every other teenager, but Arihiko's cut from a different cloth. To him, this isn't just a way of killing time. He's looking for ammunition to help him survive each night he spends prowling downtown. Another run-of-the-mill convenience store robbery. A clerk was stabbed in the stomach by some boozer. Ugh. I bet that hurt too. Can't reason with a drunk either. Stick with online shopping. Thank you very much. Arihiko continues to work his way down through his lunch as he messes around on his phone. The modern version of a father reading the paper during dinner. But now isn't the time for social critics. Arihiko, you having a blast reading the news while you eat? Not really, but someone's got to look out for his clueless buddy. Are you hearing me? The north part of town's being destroyed. Drunks are stabbing people, and there's just some punk ass going around killing people left and right. This is happening in our backyard. I get where you're coming from, but I doubt there'll be any more killings. Not much we can do about the north part of town now, but things should be going back to normal. Really? They caught the slasher? Not that I'm aware. The culprit is already dead. There'll be no more tacky headlines in the news about a modern-day vampire roaming the streets, nor will anyone be killed so senselessly. Regardless, those murders won't be happening again. There shouldn't be any more victims, and this town can finally go back to the way it was. I don't know, man. I think we'll see more. I'm telling you we won't. Why do you think that? Well, 'cause they just announced that they found a 9th body this morning. Arihiko shows me the screen of his phone. What? I can't believe my eyes. The site has a new update on the murders with a picture of the north side of the Soya Station. Shit. This is behind the movie theater we always go to. Wait, show me again? I take Arihiko's phone from his hand. It's not some crackpot theory or random hypothesis. 9th victim of serial killer confirmed by police at press conferences is immortalized on the phone screen. No way. The revelation has me stunned into silence. Wow, is dead. I killed him myself. Then why? How can there be more bodies drained of blood, turning up? Modern vampire in the flesh, huh? I wouldn't mind getting sucked dry by a beautiful lady. A beautiful vampire? Arihiko's words are like ice against my skin. I wouldn't mind getting sucked dry by a beautiful lady. He's obviously kidding, but it doesn't feel like a joke to me. This isn't over. The discovery of a new victim means there's still a vampire in our mindset. And if we were to use the process of elimination, who the vampire is, should be abundantly clear. Lav is gone, which leaves only one vampire remaining. Classes come to an end, and school finishes for the day. Or maybe I should say school was over before I knew it. The worst possible assumptions had clouded my mind. By the time I realized it, I was sitting alone on an empty classroom. The murders haven't stopped, or I wouldn't have given it a second thought. But she said it herself. She's never killed any humans. I can't see her lying to me about that. Did the news get it wrong? Or could it be... Only Arkud would know the answer to that question. If I could just find her, I'm sure the pieces would all fall into place. That's why I don't understand what I'm thinking. This is no longer any of my business. I finished off Lav. I went back to my old life. I did my job. My part in this should be over. I have no reason to drive back in. Why would I go to all that craziness of my own volition? I should just go on home. Keep walking down this path of as if nothing ever happened. That really the right option? I'll go home. This has to be the next best alternative. Though, I've been taught since I was little to always choose the best option. Everyone's got their share of problems to overcome in life, but you have the strength to do something about it. So pull yourself together. That's right. Doing nothing isn't an option. Those words saved my life. I've always tried to live by them. So I can't pretend like this has nothing to do with me. This isn't over. Now that I've gotten myself involved, it's my responsibility to see this through to the end. I leave the school. Although I don't have any idea where she could be, I still have the key to her apartment. So I'll start there. Not here, huh? The apartment looks the same as when I last left it, but Arkud is nowhere to be seen. There are signs that she's been here, though. I'm relieved that she hasn't just disappeared into thin air. Oh well, I wasn't expecting to find her so soon anyway. Now to decide what to do next. I could wait for her here, but there's no knowing if she'll be coming back. I'll probably have to look for her in town, just like how I first met her. The sun sets over the city, paving the way of night to reveal itself. I take a look around all of the major spots, but I don't manage to catch a hint of Arkud. He was walking around over just a couple of days ago. Why is it that when I need her, I can't find her? What do I do? It's still early in the evening. I'll go back to the mansion and think things through. I'll wander in the city for a bit. I'll continue looking. We only met by chance in the first place. And it's not like we're on good enough terms that we know exactly where to find each other either. If I don't want to rely on sheer coincidence to find her, I'll have to rely on my own 2 feet and a bit of intuition. Yeah, that's how it should be. We've grown too dependent on our phones. I'm gonna be right back. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, I'm back. In a time when no one had a cell phone in their pocket, if a person didn't turn up to decide the meeting spot, you could figure out where they'd be based on their principles and lifestyle habits. It wasn't some kind of feral instinct, but something uniquely human that anyone could do, even in this age, saturated by mobile phones. Unfortunately, there's a limit to how far I can search. I'd be better off focusing on the residential area or the shopping district. Alright. After some deliberation, I decided on the shopping district. On my way over, I make sure to keep an eye as I pass the north and south exits of Soya Station. If she's still here in town, I'll find her. Whatever crowd was between us, I know I'd recognize her in an instant. Nope. This is impossible. It turns out my intuition sucks. Every time I feel like I'm about to find her, every time I think she's going to be around the next corner of the station, wind up empty-handed. Been a while since I felt this useless. Actually, maybe the first time it's ever been this bad. I've always tried to avoid overexerting myself since I never knew when my anemia might flare up. Makes me wonder why I thought this search might be worthwhile, considering I had absolutely no guarantee I'd find her. But the night's not over yet. I'll search just a little longer. My phone buzzes. I wonder who it could be. Arihiko? I look to see. To Shiki. Could you return to the mansion as soon as possible? Something rather unexpected has happened. A guest arrived at the mansion. A stunningly beautiful foreign woman is here, calling herself your girlfriend. Not only that, but Mistress Akia is still upset about your absence, as well as the incident this morning. Quite an explosive sight, don't you think? It's a strange text from Kohaku. Huh? My mind goes blank. Does that mean Arkud is at the Tono mansion? I immediately conjure up the worst case scenario, though my wits refuse to accept it. Stupid, why didn't I realize it earlier? What made me think I could use common sense to pin down someone like Arkud? Still, of all places, why would she turn up there? Like a hare in flight, I race off toward the Tono's estate. I don't even want to imagine what Arkud could be spouting off to Akia. And trying to picture Akia's reaction has me genuinely scared for my life. Looks like I've managed to set a new personal best. Climbing the killer of the hill and reaching the Tono mansion in record time has me gasping for air. But my trial is far from over. Gah. I begin to catch my breath. My weary shoulders get a reprieve as well. I swear the mansion looks like it came right off the set of a horror movie. Now that I think about it, what the hell? Perfect timing. Are you ready, Shiki? Yeesh. Are people always this willing to make their... people always willing... Are people always this willing to make their peace and march to their death? There's no running from this now. It would only make things worse. I cast aside my fears and venture inside the grim abode. I see you finally decided to return home. Who knows what I would have done had you been a minute later. You finally decided to come home, huh? Look at you making us both wait. Guess you're always like this, huh? Stare at me with the polar opposite expressions on their faces. I know what this feeling is. This must be how a captive feels when they're forced to plead for their life, with a gun pointed at the back of their head, like in an action movie. Words fail me. I'm unable to come up with any kind of response. I can't believe Arkud and Akia are face to face in the same room. They're both sitting on the sofa like there's nothing amiss at all. Though unlike Arkud, who seems perfectly calm, Akia has a bitter contempt written all over her face. Akia glances at me. What's the matter? Why don't you come and sit with us instead of standing in the doorway? No way. I inch a little closer to the sofa, but the feeling that I might be stabbed by a knife keeps me from moving it any nearer. I'm okay here. Anyway, this is, how do I even begin to explain? I doubt I can get away with calling her a classmate, and saying she's someone I met in town would probably just make things worse. Go on. Akia's glare pierces into me. I can tell I'm not going to be left off the hook here. Gah, I don't think there's anything I can say that will dig me out of this hole. Still, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or disturb what little peace I found. There's gotta be a way to explain. But what's she even doing here in the first place? How can she sit there, smiling away like that? I can't imagine Akia would let someone she's never met before into the parlor. Actually, first of all, what has she told you? Arku tilts her head in confusion. She's your friend, isn't she? At least that's what I've been told. Oh, yeah. You could say that. I see. Then, why don't you introduce us? It would be rude of me to just send your friend home. Well, the funny thing is... I mumble. Oh, I'm just a friend, huh? Arku works her way into the conversation, probably tired of being ignored. You're unbelievable. I'm still aching after everything you did to me. You know. What? My head whirls. Now this is some Vergito. Lord, I find myself compiling from reality with astonishing speed. And what is it you mean by that? Are you saying my brother has somehow caused you bodily or mental harm? Pardon my rudeness, but do you understand what it is you are insinuating? I do, but don't worry. We're square. I had him pay me back with his body, tenfold. So no problems there. I just want to ask Shiki if he wanted to join me for something. We'll be out of your hair soon. Isn't that right, Shiki? Shit. This is bad. The more she talks, the shorter my lifespan gets. You're such a jokester! I force a laugh as I make for Arku, grabbing her arm. Shiki, what are you doing? There's no time to listen to her complaints. Dragging Arku by the arm, I bolt out of the parlor, leaving a stunned Akia behind. Sui's waiting in the lobby. I wonder what she's thinking, seeing me with Arku in tow. I have the hunch I won't like the answers, so I'll worry about that later. Are you going out, Master Shiki? Unfortunately, I'm really sorry about this, but could you leave the front gate unlocked for me? Of course. Please take care. I hurry past the bowing Hisui and try to get away from the mansion as fast as possible. That hurts. What are you doing dragging me outside all of a sudden? I've never heard a stupider question in my life. What the hell were you thinking, waltzing into my house like that? Are you trying to destroy my life, you imbecile? Imbecile? Oh, so you think I'm stupid now? I'm calling a spade a spade. If you got a problem with that, let me hear it. Let's hear it. Huh, wait, what? I'm actually livid. I've never been in such an infuriating situation before. I had to give her a piece of my mind, otherwise I won't be able to let this one go. Why are you acting like this, all of us? Why are you acting like this? All I did was come see you, Shiki. I don't think I did anything that bad. You just came to see me? Are you serious? Yeah, what about it? What's the big deal? I didn't use my mystic eyes and I acted totally human. I didn't tell your sister anything about your eyes or that I'm a vampire. Well, yeah, that much I got. Even you're not that clueless enough to do something like that. I don't get you at all. Why are you so mad at me then? Because you don't think before you do things. I'm gonna take this chance to tell you once and for all, okay? Gotta think about how you come off to other people. I'm begging you to stop drawing so much attention to yourself. Don't you realize how much you stand out? Phew. Where'd the cat ears come from? I feel better now that I've said something. Now that I've said what I needed to be said. Though Arkud, who had been on the receiving end of it, seems the complete opposite. She glares at me like a pouting cat. Why do you get to decide everything? That's not fair. What makes me stand out so much? I look like any other regular human, don't I? Doesn't matter if you look like one of us or not. The fact is you're beautiful, and that makes you stand out. I replied to her frankly. Maybe it's because I gave her a straight answer, but Arkud readily accepts it. Okay, I'm being too harsh on you. I've never been in this tense situation like that, so I get a little carried away. It's fine. I guess I'm the one at fault here. Arkud bows her head in a show of honest remorse. Somehow, I'm starting to feel guilty for thinking she may have had some ulterior motive. So, why did you come here? Actually, you saved me the trouble. I needed to talk to you anyway. Really? I just came to see what you were up to. I see. Indulging your curiosity, huh? Do me a favor and hide behind a tree or something next time, so no one can catch you doing it. Better yet, do it somewhere where I can't find you either. I feel exhausted all of a sudden. Though this isn't exactly the first time I've been caught up in one of Arkud's little whims. And the fact that she didn't tell Akia anything means she at least put some consideration into my position here. Anyway, I need to ask you about something. Let's go somewhere where we can talk. That's fine with me, but that's fine with me, but what is it you wanted to ask? I'll tell you in a second, alright? Let's head over to the park. There shouldn't be anyone around this time of night. I motion toward the road and start walking. Arkud tilts her head in curiosity, but falls after me without a word. So, what is it, Chiki? You said the recent murders were the work of a vampire, right? Arkud nods. Did you know that another victim was announced on the news this morning? Killed by the serial killer last night and drained of blood? She narrows her eyes. I can tell I've stepped in... Sorry. I can tell I've stepped on I've stepped on thin ice. One wrong step will be the end of me. And? And you didn't? I swallow nervously. Arkud peers right at me. Her eyes tell me that she's ready to pounce at the slightest movement. Don't you think that's strange? Vlav is dead. Vlav is dead, so then why is there still a vampire around? I know there's no point in asking this, but did you? If this is your doing, Come on, you've got to be kidding. This wasn't me. It's another vampire. Arkud interjects, slicing through the tension. I don't know how he didn't come to that conclusion. A strange happiness wells up in my throat. But I shouldn't get my hopes up yet. It's great that it was another vampire, but there's still a couple of things that don't make sense. Are vampires so common that a new one would appear so soon after Vlav? Of course not. This was always the work of a single vampire. No new vampires are going to set up shop and finish what he started. Vlav was never connected to the killings in the first place. Vlav was never connected? Oh, whoops. Exactly what I said. Jeez, I guess you've been too angry to pay attention. Sure, Vlad was a vampire, but did he drink human blood? No, he just froze and burned people to ash. Of course he did. I saw him with my own eyes, burning people to ash. So that's it. How did I not notice something so obvious? The bodies left behind by the serial killer had been drained of blood, but they were otherwise unscratched. But Vlad was different. He burned his victims. He drank their blood too, but draining them was never his modus operandi. Come to think of it, the victims at the hotel weren't connected to the serial murders. They were treated as casualties of a fire. Which means Vlad must not have had any connections to the serial murders to begin with. Hold up. Then who's behind the serial murders? Who's responsible for the killings? Like I said, that's the work of a different vampire. That's who I came to kill. The reason why Vlad came... things have gotten a lot more complicated now. We're certain he was just after me, but now I'm not sure. He didn't look like he had his wits about him, and I doubt he was working with other dead apostles. But enough about him. He's dead anyway. At any rate, there are two different vampires. I guarantee you Vlad is a third party who just happened to stumble into this. I never said I was after him, did I? Vlad might have had his sights on me, but my target has always been the vampire you humans call the Soya Slasher. Shiki, I hate to say it, but did you get your wires crossed there? I swallow nervously. Arkud's right, though. She said that her goal was to kill the vampire, which I just assumed was Vlav. So risking my life against Vlav was all for nothing? No, it wasn't meaningless. You fought for my sake, didn't you? Then again, I suppose you wouldn't have needed to do that if you hadn't killed me in the first place. True enough. Exhaustion hits me, such that as if it feels like my knees will give out at any second. It was all pointless. Killing Vlav changed nothing in the end. There's still a vampire in town, and even if it was just for a split second, I tried to pin the blame on Arkud. Shit. Disappointment and self-loathing swirl around in my head. Sorry, I know this is a stupid question, but let me be sure I got this right. You're saying the vampire who's been on a killing spree and leaving bodies around town for the last month wasn't Vlav? Yep, pretty much. But this is a problem I can handle, so you don't have to worry about it, more importantly. Arkud looks up at me, a wide smile brimming across her face. What? Whatever you have in mind, count me out. I'm not in the mood. My feelings are all over the place right now. Anything she says could knock me right off my feet. I have a question for you. When we were fighting Vlav, why did you say you only had 3 minutes? What do you mean? What do you mean why? You said you only had 3 minutes, and I still can't figure out the reason. I told you, didn't I? The place was like the bottom of the ocean, so at best I could have only lasted 3 minutes. Huh. You'd only have 3 minutes at the bottom of the ocean? That was a close one. If I was feeling like my usual self, I wouldn't shot back with something snarky. Well, you see, we're not built like you. Humans can only dive underwater for so long. Hey, I was chilly too, you know. Besides, who'd want to hang around at the bottom of the ocean? That sounds super boring. I was chilly, she says. Meanwhile, I genuinely thought I was dead. What's the matter? Why are you looking around? Don't worry about it. Just feeling a little dizzy. Actually, no. You should worry about it. You should worry about it. Even the 3 minutes is pushing it for a human. We're not like you vampires, you know. We're flimsy as hell, so keep your endurance contests to yourselves. I wave Arkud off with a hand, as I cradled my head with the other. Though, I guess that's not going to fix anything now. I already know firsthand how freakishly strong you all are. Look, the Vlav thing was me being dumb. But, Arkud? I calm myself and begin to say something, but when I look up, what's with that expression on her face? Arkud? You can be a real jerk, Shiki. But who cares? It's not like I'm a human anyway. Arkud turns the other way in a huff and starts walking. Hey, wait, where are you going? What do you care? You're just a human. Arcade storms off without even a glance in my direction. She seems genuinely upset. Man, where is she going? I must have struck a nerve. Looking back, maybe I was being a little unfair. But I didn't even say anything mean. Did I? Considering how mad she is, I feel like I have earned it. Like, really earned it. In fact, I kind of feel like an asshole. Fine, I'm sorry. I was wrong. So wait up. I said wait! I rush after the white silhouette in front of me. Not just because I feel guilty. In case she's forgotten, we still have important things to discuss. Arcade walks through the night full of purpose. Her golden hair flutters in the air. She looks the same as she did when I first laid my eyes on her. Same as when she first faced love amid all the collapsed rubble. Gone is the tenderness I felt a second ago. She has the air of a hunter stalking its prey, her movements now sharp and deliberate. Arcade. Arcade doesn't respond. She continues, marching forward. Are you listening to me? Where are you going? The white huntress doesn't stop. I can't back down. But I also can't manage to do anything else for now, so I follow behind her silently. Walk in complete silence, except for the sound of our footsteps. Until, that is, Arku comes to an abrupt half and turns towards me. Stop following me. Do you understand that a regular human like you will only get in the way? Well, sorry for being human. If you at least tell me what it is you're doing, I'll go home. This has nothing to do with you. Leave me alone. Arku twirls around and begins walking again. Well, damn. It looks like I'm getting the silent treatment again. We leave the shopping district and come to an underpass when Arcade stops suddenly. There it is. What? Arcade's voice is cold. She sounds like a completely different person. A shiver trickles down my spine. Even from behind, I can tell her posture, how ready she is to fight. What are you doing? I don't say it. I know exactly what she's doing without having to ask. A pure, unbridled hostility flows from her, freezing the air. Hey, what are you thinking? Arcade doesn't answer. Her gaze is fixed on the perfectly normal-looking man in a suit. Shiki, take off your glasses and look at the human. You mean that man standing there? Sorry. If you're so dead set on knowing what it is I'm doing, save your questions for later. Ever not see that stuff while I'm outside? I remove my glasses. My temples throb. In exchange for the pain, the lines running across the ground and walls come dimly into view. Just to check, are the lines you see usually clearer on living things? Yeah, they stand out more. I figured. You're a living thing yourself, so it's hard for you to comprehend the depth of an inanimate object. You may be able to imagine it wearing away, but not the actual end of its existence. You'd need to share both a point of view and values to truly understand something like that. In order to see something's depth, you need to understand how it lives in the first place. Next question. What does that human look like to you right now? I don't see how he'd be any different. What? I step back by reflex. What is that? Every human being has lines on them. Most only have a few, though, which gently trace their bodies in geometric patterns. But what the fuck is that? The lines are scrawled across his entire body, like bulging veins and stairs. The man's covered in them. I can't even see what he looks like under them all. Ugh. I want to throw up. He's backwards. That's not a person with lines. It's as if the lines themselves have assumed a human form. How does he look? I'm hoping he appears human to you. I'm unable to give Arku an answer. It takes all my focus to not vomit. I see. It's a shame that you can see death in that too. Yeah. It's different from how it's normally, but I can still see his lines. I knew it. You're able to kill the dead, too. But... So it makes no difference whether something is alive or not. As long as the thing can move or be destroyed, you can put an end to it. No exceptions between the two of us. Who's the real monster here? What? As you can see for yourself, the thing can no longer be called human. It's a vampire, desperate to cheat death by robbing the blood of others. Arkin quickens her pace. She makes a beeline for the unexpected-looking man. Arkud, what do you... Stay there, Shiki. The man disappears from sight, perhaps having become aware of Arkud. Or, to be precise, the thing leaped away with inhuman speed. He flees deeper into the safety of the darkness beneath the tracks. Arkud is already nowhere to be seen. She's left the refuge of the rustled lights to follow the man into the darkness. Bump. I can feel my heartbeat in my ears. It's still early in the evening. A car passes by, with its headlights blazing. A train rattles along overhead. Despite all this noise, I lose the sense of anyone around me. Bump. My glasses. I need to get my glasses back on now. If I don't, I'll see something far worse. Something so dark, so terrifying, it will make the things I've seen pale in comparison. Bump. But my body won't move. My eyes eagerly gaze into the darkness as if drawn to the patchwork world that Arkud has entered. I blink. Silence envelops me. The wind, even the smell of the earth. It's like everything has been frozen in place. Scritching. Under the ice-cold moon, An eerie noise emanates from beyond the shadows. Grinding. I shouldn't be able to see anything, or even hear. Squelching. But I did see it. My eyes catch a glimpse of the moment of death meets death. My vision turns turmoil. How is it possible that these eyes see death even in pitch darkness? My glasses. If I don't get them on this minute, I think I'll lose it. Fighting off the urge to vomit, I slip on my glasses, my trembling hands. Light and sound return. I steel myself and scan my surroundings, but find nothing out of the place under the tracks. Nobody around, a couple of cars maybe, but it's still just a normal city at night. Pocket of civilization where humans live, sheltered from danger, an oasis where no harm should ever befall them. I have trouble breathing. Even with my glasses on, the creature's death lingers in my peripheral vision, making me sick. Good. Out of the darkness emerges Arcud. Her footsteps unsteady. She's breathing ever harder than I am. Shiki, oh, you're still here? Arcud averts her grimacing face and sways past me. Her steps seem weak and frail. To be honest, I still haven't gotten over my own nausea. But seeing Arcud in such pain, that's now the least of my worries. Wait, what happened to you? I grab Arcud's shoulder. She tries to leave. Arcud turns slowly, her eyes flat. I'm fine, just a little tired, don't mind me. This doesn't have anything to do with you. Anyway. You moron, if you tried... You moron, if you're tired, get some rest. You're sweating all over. You're obviously hurt. I take hold of her arm as I try to control my own breathing. So what? Look worse than I do. It's just some anemia. Happens all the time. You should worry about yourself before worrying about other people. It's fine. Not like I can do anything about it. Arcud's breathing is so weak. It pains me to hear. Don't tell me. Are you still hurt from... I can't finish the question. She's got that wound protecting me. Arcud cast her eyes downward, refusing to answer. That must be a yes. Yeah. How many times are you gonna make me say it? Can you not just take it easy for once? I thought I was. You're not at all. Why are you out when you have an injury that hasn't even healed? This is making me realize just how angry I am. I can't just let her do this. I can't abandon her, no matter how much trouble she is. What were you hoping to achieve here? Come on, spill it. I'm not leaving you until you tell me everything. I grab her by the shoulders. Her eyes remain downcast, but she manages a slight nod. You really are persistent. Okay, let's get somewhere else. that one turned out to be a dud anyway. Arkud brushes away my hands and spins on her heel. We're not heading for the shopping district. It seems instead she guides me toward the park. We arrive soon enough. Did her injuries heal on the way here? She appears to be back to her normal, usual self. You look better already. I hope I wasn't all over just a couple of scratches. Huh? My injuries really are just still healing. That part wasn't a lie. That part, huh? Then you did lie about the other stuff? What's that supposed to mean? I can't with you sometimes? Everything you do is suspicious. If you got something to say, why don't you start by telling me what you were doing? I think I have a general idea, but what's hurting you so much? Alrighty, just as you asked, it's time to let you in on what I was doing. She's clearly doing this to change the topic. And again, this is what I wanted to know. How she's feeling can wait for the time being. So, let me get this straight. That guy from before was one of the vampire zombies flunkies? And his boss is the one you're after. Yeah, you're pretty quick on the uptake this time. Thanks. I'm not as dumb as I look, you know. I think I've gotten the gist of what's going on. Good. That means your only adorable misunderstanding was about love. That's hardly fair. How am I supposed to know? I was too busy trying to keep myself alive. Yourself, huh? Well, let's leave it at that. Arkud twirls around, like something's fun about all this, and peers into my face. What's with her? Getting back on track, that man was already long dead, wasn't he? That's right. I only dealt with him because he's a servant of my target. That was a low-ranking zombie, but I left unchecked. He would have kept killing people and assuming power for his master. Do you remember the vampire crash course I gave at the hotel? Of course, I nod. The ecology of vampires, Castellans, and the hierarchy of the subjects. Sires hunt and kill humans to turn them into their minions. Then they hide away while those minions gather blood for them. Arkud also spoke about the difference between Castellans and the older type of vampires. Immortal, weak to the sun, stereotypical vampire. I remember everything you told me. So, you're sure that the vampire you're after is the one behind all of the killings? Without a doubt. Even supposingly, they only killed their first victim. They're still responsible for everyone killed by their underlings. That's why you were walking around town looking for the vampires' minions? Because that will help you find the one at the top. Only if they have a strong connection with their sire. I've had no luck so far, though. I still haven't found any trace of the vampire's coffin or their lair, which means that they must have hordes of the dead at their beck and cell. The one I'm looking for only dirties their hands on rare occasions. Most of the time, they slumber away while their lackeys go out and expand their domain. This town's had more than 100 victims. Those that make the news are just a handful of the people that have gone missing. Hearing it all again makes my blood run cold. 2 days ago, I thought love was the cause of all this. And being able to channel all these... Sorry. And being able to channel all these emotions into killing him is what kept me sane. But this time it's different. The murders continue. More than 100 victims attacked, drained of blood, and killed by former humans. But then they're robbed of their rest. They become walking corpses like that clump of lions, and are made to prowl the town for more victims. It was just 3 days ago. I recall the people annihilated at the hotel. Though, I was just there too. I wasn't able to witness their final moments. That's why I can only imagine the butchery that they took place that night. It's no different now. It's hard to fully accept the notion that there's a vampire out there, thirsting for human blood, all for the sake of stretching the boundaries of its domain. But it does beg the question, how would I feel if, without the slightest warning, one of my loved ones was killed in such a horrific way? It's a morbid thing to consider. That's to be sure, but I ponder it for a second. I picture Akya having her blood drained and being tossed away like garbage. Breath hisses between my teeth as I try to rid myself of the Virgo gnawing at my brain. The very thought of that should enrage me, yet I feel strangely cold. Now's the time to think, not the time to let my emotions run rampant, I tell myself. The fact is there's a very real possibility that this could come to pass as soon as tomorrow. It's pitiful that I never realized just how much danger we were in, but I can chastise myself for that later. You're mad. I didn't tell you. I didn't say anything because there's nothing you humans can do about it. To them, you're cattle. I'm sure it's difficult for you to accept what it is vampires do. She's right. Morality and correctness have nothing to do with this. I just can't accept what they do. Even if the victims were complete strangers to me, each of them had past a future to call their own, all of which were dashed in an instant. I may not know what those lives were like, but that doesn't make them cheap. That doesn't make them cheap commodities to be used and discarded. I wouldn't want to die like that. at least at the whim of some creature. It's just too cruel. Cruel and wrong. It's also meaningless. Shiki, you don't need to worry. The vampire's natural predators might not be here in Japan, but I am. I told you, didn't I? The reason I'm here is to hurt the vampire and Excuse me. The reason I'm here is to hunt the vampire inflicting your city. Arcud brightens in a flash, a far cry from her attitude a moment ago. Honestly, her words make me feel a lot better. I know just how incredible she is, and how far she'll go to protect humans. She shielded us from Vlov's ice without a thought for herself. But that also gives me pause. An obvious question I've had since even before the fight with Vlov. That's what I don't get. You're a vampire too, aren't you? Why would you go so far for us humans? It was never my intention to help humans. I simply have nothing better to do. Huh? She just has nothing better to do? Though I suppose that's probably what ends up making me such a prime target. You could call it an operating experience, operating expense, I guess. I don't really get what you mean, but I'm positive you're using that. I'm positive that you're using that wrong. Don't sweat the small stuff. I've got enemies lining up in the block, but you're the one who defeated Vlov, and because of that, he can't hurt anyone else. All that's left is for me to track down the other vampire lurking in this town and deal with them. You don't need to get involved anymore. You can go back to your old life. I mean, I appreciate that, but are you really sure you'll be okay on your own? The words form in the back of my mind, but I shake my head to send them away. Something must be wrong with me. Why should I care if she winds up getting herself into danger? Cheeky? What's with you looking all frowny? That's everything you wanted to know, wasn't it? I don't imagine there'd be anything else. I mean, I have about 1,000 more questions, but right now... Of course I'm frowning, you idiot! This is my home! I told you. You don't have to worry about that. I'm going to be looking around town every day, making sure that there aren't any more victims. Or do you just distrust me, or do you just distrust my strength that much? I really don't want to get involved. But protecting the city, it should be the responsibility of someone who lives here, not Arcud. Arcud, is that vampire you're after strong? Like, even stronger than Vlov? Please, despite his appearance, Vlov was still an ancestor. The vampire who's nested up here is on the lower level of purity. I see. Then you're not in any real danger, right? Can't say for certain. It would have been no problem before, but Now I'm on the mend. This vampire may as well be stronger than me. Hold on just a second. I nodded along without really thinking about what she said. Arcud is on the mend? What did you catch? What, did you catch a cold or something? And wait, do vampires even catch colds? Yep, I ran into a pretty savage slasher. It's this nasty virus they're calling Shikitono. Okay. Have you perchance heard of it? Oh, sorry about that. Pretty sure I just kicked the hornet's nest. I'm just kidding. I've already recovered from all that. It's just that I had to use more power than I expected, so I'm a little tired. It's the hit I took from Vlav. That's really hurting right now. All I've done is close it so far. Arcud touches her stomach lightly. I'm responsible for that wound too. She only got it because she protected me. I'm at a loss. All of Arcud's pain has been my fault. So then, why? Why doesn't she hold even the slightest grudge? How can she smile at me so innocently? Stop that. Shouldn't you at least rest somewhere until you're better? A day or two wouldn't make that much of a difference, wouldn't it? Can't do that. The vampire must know that I'm here after our battle with Vlav. Resting would just tell them I'm weak. Then you're going to keep doing what you did tonight? I am. If I don't know where they are, all I can do is symmetrically take down their underlings. With their blood supply cut off, they'll have to come out of hiding to feed. And what if that ends up happening tomorrow? You'll just get yourself killed with your injuries. With your injuries as they are, so don't! I stopped short of telling her not to push herself and stare at my feet. Arcud is right. If she shows even a hint of weakness, the vampire will come to kill her regardless. These last 2 days have taught me something. When it comes to fighting, Arcud can be brutal to the core. Rather than avoiding personal injury, her strategy is all about finding a surefire way to take down her enemy. She praetoria praetorize her objective above all else. She doesn't force herself into believing anything but the truth. Arcud isn't going to stop. I won't get another chance to talk with her like this if I let her go. She's not scared of death. So why'd she have to smile like that? If I could have not seen that smile, if she acted more like a vampire, I wouldn't feel like this. What's wrong, Shiki? You're shaking. Gotta go to the bathroom or something? How can you be so... so carefree about all this. I return. I lift my head. In front of me stands the woman in white. I can't pretend like none of this happened. I don't know what this feeling is, but I know I can't forget the 2 days we've spent together. That's why, if I leave her now, only for her to wind up dead tomorrow, I could never forgive myself. Give me a break. My eyes were already screwed up, and now my mind is going the same way. I don't want to deal with vampires anymore. The fight with Vlad flashes through my mind. Terror still lingers in my bones, enough to send a chill up my spine. It's the same now. The other vampire is supposed to be strong, too. There's no need for me to be involved. No need for me to involve myself. Arcud says she can handle it, so I should just leave it to her. And yet, even though I know that's the logical thing to do, I can't let her do this alone. I must be out of my mind. I kick the ground. More than anything, I'm pissed off at just how illogical I'm being. What's with you all of a sudden? Why are you all angry all of a sudden? Why wouldn't I be angry? I went through all that shit, and I'm gonna say something stupid. The idea of what I'm about to utter makes me dizzy. If I had a mirror in front of me, I'd give my reflection a smack in the face. Hey, calm down. You're acting pretty weird, you know. Of course I'm weird. No normal person would be saying this. Cursing to myself, I scratch my head like I could drag down the words right now. As much as I don't want to believe it, I've already decided. I said as much, didn't I? Jeez, I don't get you at all. Explain yourself already. What is it that you've been freaking out about? Don't you get it? What I want to say is I'm going to help you until you're all better, damn it. But, Arcud looks taken back. I finally got it out in a way. Now that I've actually said the words, I start to calm down. Shiki, do you really mean that? I groan. Even I still can't believe what I just said. I think I misread you. Say that for me one more time, will you? Another groan. But it's too late to go back now. I stopped being able to lie to myself the second I said it. Come on, I want to hear you say it again. She urges me with a voice close to a whisper. Averting my gaze from her from her beaming face, I try my best not to sound angry. I'm just saying, it's my fault that you're not at 100%, and I can't just let my city be overrun by monsters. You probably don't stand a chance while you're injured like this. So I'll help if you'll have me. Shiki? Arcute's eyes practically sparkle. Ugh. She grabs a hand happily and shakes it up and down. I don't know if I'll be much. I don't know if I'll be much help, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Yeah, I don't have anything to worry about if you're with me. Arcu continues giving my hand a vicious shaking. Considering her ridiculous strength, I'm honestly afraid my arm will come out off of its sockets before long. But I can't bring myself to stop her. How do I put it? She looks so happy. Honestly, truly happy. Seeing that, it makes me feel maybe I've made the right choice after all. Despite how insane it sounds. By the time Arcute finally releases me from her handshake, it's almost 9. My head hurts thinking about what will happen once I get home, but that won't be for a while, now that I've decided to lend my support. We've got a vampire hunt to plan. So, what do we do now? Just walk around town and look for zombies? Pretty much. If we can kill them all, then their boss will have to make an appearance. That's basically our only option for now. Is that okay with you? Her eyes ask. Hey, I'm just along for the ride. You're the expert, so I'll trust you with all that. And just as I say it, Arcute looks at me with a wide grin on her face. Did I say something weird? Yep, I was just thinking about how obedient you are. Maybe I should start acting a little tougher. I have a feeling she'll be asking crazy stuff of me if I don't draw the line somewhere. Let's get going. All we have to do is walk around town, right? Did we check under the tracks again? No, that's all. That area's all clear. Each minion is given its own route, so they don't encroach on each other or concentrate their victims in one area. Only a limited number of the dead feed on any given night. I think the one from before was the last for tonight, but if you're here anyway, we might as well keep looking for a bit. So they don't encroach on each other. They're actually getting commands then. Hello Apple. Welcome. I've been pretty well. How about you? How you feeling? It has been a long time. I think this is your first time ever being on my YouTube channel. Yeah, this is your first message here. You haven't made an appearance in so long. Alright. I'm great. Alright. How are you? I'm good, as I said before. Doing pretty swell. So you don't register there. You gotten the chance to play Inazuma yet? No. I've just been waiting for the game to go on sale. And it has not gone on sale because I really don't want to pay a lot of money as of, like, right now. Like, what, like, how much is it? Like above 60? Like, maybe if it was, like, at around 50, like, I could buy it, but it's like, gosh. I really want to get it too, though. So they don't register, they actually commands, and then I thought they would acted out a little more indiscriminately. The game's not going on sale? They're nearing 1 million sales, I think? Yeah, but there have been games that have, like, reached 1 million, like, that have, like, sold, like, 1 million, and, like, they still go on sale. I just need a cheaper discount. Or, I don't know, I need to be paid, like, a lot of money to, like, buy that game. Consider it from the sire's perspective. Vampires don't collect blood for the pressure. They need to survive. It's their job, and collecting blood is just part of their agenda. For Inazuma 11, it's pretty good. You had to remember. Yeah, I know. It's just, funny. I don't know. I need to be, like, paid, like, a ton of money to, like, want to buy it, because I really don't like spending so much money. $80 for a video game is, like, crazy, man. So we're cutting into their workforce, but then wouldn't they take measures to stay in business? If you're reducing their numbers, they'll either need to make more zombies or pull their forces back and go into hiding. If you have a PC, just pirate it, bro. It probably won't run well on my PC, to be honest, because well, I say PC, I just use a laptop. And my laptop's like, I don't know, my laptop, it probably won't run well. Generally speaking, those, they choose the stingier option. The game runs on a potato? It's fine. Yeah, the game, isn't it only, like, on Switch 2? The graphics look amazing from what I've seen. I don't know if I can trust you on that one, but sure. I'll take your word for it, I guess. They said vampires can't survive without exploiting the blood of life force of other beings. Even if the leader knows that I'm after them, they'll still have to send out the dead to gather the bare minimum of the resources. It's on everything, literally. Well, all I have is a Switch and a laptop. I get it. Arcud wants to starve them out. Would be nearly impossible to find our target just by looking. PC, Switch, Switch 2, PS4, Xbox, even. That's crazy. So we'll have to flush them out. We'll have to flush them out into the open. cut off all their other options and give them no choice but to go out and hunt for themselves. Once they make their move, Arcud will be able to sense them. And that's when the real hunt begins. We're going to stop this at the source, just like with Vlav. I understand the situation. We'll patrol the city once night falls, and look for any active zombies, right? Right. And Shiki, I'd like to take your glasses off for this. Is that okay? Take off my glasses? Why? That way we'll know for sure. I can sense the presence of human and non-human beings, while you see the difference between the living and the dead. The more ways we have to check for enemies, the better, right? Well, she has a point. What game is this? This is Tsukihime, A Piece of the Glass Moon. It's a mostly like visual novel with like just like choosing a bunch of like major. You impact the story by choosing options, basically. The best way I can describe this game's story is that it kind of feels similar to Twilight, I guess. Because what is it? The main protagonist is like a yeah, Twilight. If like the gender roles were reversed, that's the best way I can describe it. Telltale, like, yeah, well, not Telltale, like. Most of the options are like twice, like, and like they rarely show up. You're only like given like 2 options here and there. Interactive Twilight. I'm crying. It's Twilight for men, I guess. I don't know. But what is it? The main character is like a guy who has like these like special powers where he can like basically see death. So he can see the lines of like where people die, and if he cuts them, that's where their life ends, basically. So he has like the eyes of death perception, as they're called. So he wears like these glasses to prevent him from like seeing all those lines and like getting in his like from like blurring his vision and stuff. Then one day he accidentally kills a vampire, which is the woman standing right in front of us right now. And she Twilight, if it was with Emma Watson instead of Robert Patterson, yeah. And then one day, yeah, he cuts this woman into like what, 17 pieces, I think. She dies. And then Shiki like snaps out of it and realizes, oh god, I killed a woman. And he like froze up and passes out. And then he wakes up in his rich mansion that he lives in, thinking like, oh, maybe that was just all a dream, I guess. And then the woman appears like right outside as he's walking to school, and then like she chases him, and like now he's like, you gotta work with me to help kill vampires and stuff. So because all my power is zapped since I had to regenerate my body, and it's your fault, so you owe me one. So basically Shiki's like just doing a job that he doesn't want to do, and he kills a vampire, he kills like a few like zombies, I guess. And then like they think like, oh, it's all over, but like nope, there's still more to go. And now Shiki's willing to lay his life on the line to protect Arcud. And yeah, that's pretty much a summary of what has happened so far. Crazy story. Insane lore, yeah. Yeah, and then there's like this other girl named Ciel. I think she's like, well, she's not a vampire, but like I think she's like the other like love interest that you can go for. Because it's like that's what makes me think this is Twilight. It's a bunch of vampires. They're two girls, like two romantic like love interests. for the player to choose, I guess. That's what made me think of it. Arkut's explanation makes sense. Plus, I'm the one who agreed to help, so there's no reason for me to decline. I just don't know if I'm comfortable with his. I know it'll put a huge strain on you, but I want to take this opportunity to check something. If you think you'd be alright, then take your glasses off and come with me. She wants me to walk around town without my glasses? Huh? In the 7 years since I got these glasses, I've never once tried to do that before. Looking at inanimate objects is enough to give me a headache, so it's not hard to imagine what strolling through the town with my eyes exposed would do to me. Probably drive him insane, I bet. But even so, it's okay. One little headache won't kill me. Besides, a headache is nothing compared to what Arkut has to deal with right now. Alright, I'll give it a try. If that's what it takes to do the job. Okay, let's get going then. I take a deep breath, remove my glasses, and set off into town. Arkut and I walk side by side through the crowds. It's the first time since I was hospitalized that I've walked around like this, with the lines in full view. Dude, it's the place from The World Ends With You? Hell yeah. It's Shibuya. Wait, you say the place from The World Ends With You? Brother doesn't know where Shibuya is located. I don't feel any dizziness as of yet. Simply seeing them doesn't give me as too much of a headache. But while I look at the thin lines on the buildings, just find every glimpse of the lines is tracing the people we pass makes me feel sick. Do you think we'll ever get further to The World Ends With You? Probably not forever, I guess. I'd say the most we're probably gonna get another like World Ends With You is probably when Kingdom Hearts 4 drops, since currently in the Kingdom Hearts lore, Sora ends up in this place called Quadratum, but it kind of looks like Shibuya, and I mean, it's not far off to think that they'd see the World Ends With You characters from there, since Neku and Sora have met before in Kingdom Hearts. So it would be pretty cool to see them there, I hope. And I mean, they did say that they'd be willing to meet again in his town, so most likely they'll see each other, I guess. Is Neku really truly a part of Quadratum this whole time? Disgust surges within me. It's not the sight of the line-covered bodies that makes me feel this way. It's the unwelcome knowledge that humans can die so easily that force bile up my throat. Continue our search. Arkut takes each step confidently, never saying a word. They're gonna use the KH4 appearance to set up a Minamoto solo game. That would be cool. I heard my friend thought like maybe that they would put Shomi Namimoto as a boss, like as a secret boss fight, maybe, which I think sounds cool. Instead of it being Sephiroth for the bajillionth time in a row. We spend around 2 hours checking appointment places close to the station. But in the end, we don't find anyone resembling that clump of lions from earlier. How long is this episode, I wonder? And put your glasses back on, Cheeky. I don't think we're going to find any more of the dead tonight. I just feel like they have something for show in the future after the new day in Neo. Ooh, I mean, yeah, possibly. I mean, there's still a lot to his character that we don't know about. And I mean, yeah, sure, he's like fully developed, but it's like still like some. I feel that there are like. Hmm. Yeah, no, it's just him that we don't really know much about. Like, how did he even end up in the? How did he even end up in the Reaper, to becoming a Reaper in the first place? And how did he become at like the top of the top? I'm also kind of curious on how like Megumi got to, unless he was like born, unless he was born a Reaper. That would make sense, honestly. I put on my glasses. My vision returns to normal, and I breathe a sigh of a long-awaited relief. What is it? Azuki and Karya. But those are like other two characters that I'm curious to know. Uh, how like how they ended up here. A lot of the, like a lot of the Reapers are very interesting individuals. Vision returns to normal, and I breathe a sigh of a long-awaited relief. Oh yeah, another plot line that like that never like gets brought up like at all, and I don't think it's like in Neo, like is the fact that like heaven like and the angels, like we barely know anything about like what heaven is like, or like or how the or what the angels do. Like the only ones that we know are like really like Hanakoma and like Joshua, to be honest. Are you sure it's okay to give up so quick? We've only taken a look around. One look is enough. When the dead have been somewhere, they leave traces that can be sensed. I didn't feel anything like that tonight. The zombie from before may have been the last one still, gathering blood. We'll have to start going after the next rank up next. You seem like you're in a bad mood. Of course I am. You came along with me, and what do we find? Nothing. Here I wanted to show off. World Ends With You should have 50 spin-offs by now. If it were more popular, yeah. Huh? Can't say I expected that to be the reason. Well, I don't know if it... excuse me, sorry. Well, I don't know if it would amount to much, but if you want to go around the town one more time, that's cool with me. I'll make sure to keep my eyes peeled. I might see something this time. No, I don't want you pushing yourself anymore tonight. Pushing myself? I don't think I am. You are. you may not have noticed it, but you are pale as a ghost. Here, take a seat on the bench. You'll feel better, right? It's like, Nomura has so many ideas. Yeah. Oh, I mean, Nomura is not the only one who works on The World Ends With You. Uh, wait, is he the story writer? I can't remember. I think he just does the designs for the characters. Uh, yeah, I forget the name of the actual writer for the game. Like, I think Nomura has some involvement with the story, but like he also does the character designs as well. I believe he directed the first game. No, yeah, he directed the first game. I think he also did the designs as well. Well, their fashion at least. But like the game's story is written by someone else, I think. She guides, or rather pushes me down onto the bench. Truthfully, I'm about ready to throw up, so I'll take a seat for a bit. Relief is such that I accidentally let out a sigh. Both O6 and Neo have different writers. Oh, you said OG. No. Yeah, I would assume that Neo had a different writer because you could tell it wasn't the clear vision that they were originally going for with Neo. Like it was clear like from like how they ended things with the first game that they had like so much planned for like a sequel, but like more with like good stories, but they don't like touch upon that with Neo is the problem. Like yeah, so like some aspects here and there, like bringing returning characters and stuff, but it doesn't like fill in like any more of those like lingering questions that you had with the first game. And to change our fate, Merchant. All the tension I bottled up was released the moment I sat down. I guess I really was pushing myself too hard. Thanks. I do feel better now. This isn't too bad compared to the headaches I usually get, though, and it's far better than passing out from dizziness. My nausea will fade if I breathe in the fresh night air. Next to Arkut's wound, this is nothing. He doesn't need to worry so much about Arkut. Don't act like you're tougher than you are. You think you're okay just because you haven't fainted? Don't have any idea what could happen. Stop trying to look at what you can't see. Subjecting your brain to that kind of abuse might break you. Yikes, I'm kinda like that with myself, to be honest. Break me? Really? Yes, really. Why don't you understand the danger you're in? You've got those incredibly rare mystic eyes, but you're some sort of pacifist. Do you realize how juicy a target you are? That makes you. I'm gonna go to bed. It was good talking to you again. Yeah, same here. Great seeing you. Hope to see you again some other time. Later. I'm amazed you've survived this long. Normally, you'd be gobbled up in a second. Tell me if you ever cop Inazuma. Maybe when I'm rich and famous. Yeah. Where on earth would that be normal? I'd appreciate it if she get. Hey, I'd appreciate if she gave me the nations of the world, of a little credit. Even if she wants to call us complicated, it's kind of amazing that the law and order prevails as much as it does. Fine. I wanted to avoid this, but I'll explain it to you straight. Listen up. You said that it's easier to see the depth of living things than inanimate objects, right? That's because of the way your brain is wired. When you talk about seeing the depth of things, of seeing casualties, it's really accurate to say you're reading it. All phenomena share the same absolute root cause. Alright, hang on, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I return. Alright. That singular point is both the beginning and the end of our universe. And within a record of all things, though it's less of a record and more something that just is, so you can't call it information. It possesses no will nor any capacity for dispensability. It's similar to the vortex of the root which emanates casualty. Everything that exists flows from there before undergoing divination, derivation, and assuming its current form. Me and you, vampires and humans, we're all just atoms that originated from the common source. Makes sense? We've strayed too far to become too complex to return to the source, but you at least understand that it's there, right? But however far we've drifted from our cause by virtue of being derived from it, our forms are still connected to it by imperial threads. The root in it lies all things a record of the beginning and the end. To be connected to it is to comprehend the end of things. The brain brains of higher life forms are capable of sending and receiving signals, but the vast majority of humans are closed to the outer world. Some humans, however, possess a latent connection. They can cause paranormal events without the use of magic circuits or being the transzonal races. Is this meant to be referencing dates? Because the talk of magic circuits reminds me of that. One can only assume. Mages classify these people as paranormals. They're still human, but possess mutations and function like magic circuits. Okay. For example, you could have a human with no knowledge of mystics who could see death of all things. Sorry, Arcade. I appreciate you explaining all this to me, but my brain barely understood a word. It's okay, if you don't understand. All I want to say is that you shouldn't push yourself to see things that are hard to see. I can't see what you see, so I can't be sure, but I'd wager you see more than just those lines. You can see the points from where they originate, am I right? It's exactly as she says. Sometimes when I strain my eyes, the lines seem to form a single point. I saw something like that at the last moment with Vlav. Now that I think back, it wasn't just with Vlav. The shock may have shut my brain off from reality, but I know that they were there. Yeah. When I killed you, I saw points then too. They were all over you, and the lines seemed to connect. Then, like blood vessels, maybe... If the lines are blood vessels, then the points are whatever brings them forth. There's lines where things easily die, and there's death itself. I think you could even see the death of inanimate objects if you wanted to, though to do so, you'd have to rewire your brain from only comprehending the death of living creatures. But that's doomed from the start. It would overload your brain, but put you past the point of no return. Past the point of no return, huh? You mean I wouldn't be able to see death anymore? Please, do you know what happens to an engine when it blows out? It's junked. You can't save an engine that's been... I see. The headaches I get when I see death are circles of an engine overheating. Get it now? It's okay to look at things you can already see, but stop trying to see the things you can't. At the very most, only go as far as rupturing the blood vessels in your brain. Any further, and you'll be no more alive than a rock. You ought to thank the mage who made those glasses for you. Most paranormals abuse their powers before realizing just how dangerous they are, and wind up crippled. Though maybe that's better than trying to force themselves to live in a society that will never accept them. Who is this girl? After all, it seems to be what led me to you. I'm going to return to you. I'm going to return your normal life. That's what Master told me when she made me these glasses. I owe her as much as it hurts to think about. The day she saved me in more ways than one, I wouldn't be... I'll be smiling. Hello, Sparkle Water. What has got you smiling so much on this very day? On this marvelous Sunday? The day she saved me in more ways than one, I wouldn't be here without her. So anyway... Gah! Arku materializes right in my face as soon as I'm in the middle of reminiscing. This isn't good for my heart. I wish she'd let me have a moment considering what we just talked about. I don't know. Oh, well, it's great to hear you're still smiling either way, even if you don't have a reason. What? It's my glasses. If it's my glasses you want, I'm not giving them up. That's not what I meant. I was wondering what you're going to do now. I don't think we'll be seeing any more zombies, so should we split up for tonight? It's 11 o'clock. My curfew was ages ago. Want to? I don't want to be a rule breaker. I couldn't hurt, right? I'll talk with Arkud a little longer. There's still so much I don't understand despite already having decided to help hunt this vampire. I still feel kind of sick, so I think I'll stick around until I feel better in the meantime. There's actually some stuff I wanted to ask. We may not be able to look around the town, but that's okay, right? Yeah, I don't mind, but are you sure? Don't humans get sleepy at night? I'm fine. Sleep and I don't really get along. You mean you have insomnia? No, I can fall asleep fine. I just don't like it. Huh. Do you not dream? Dream? I'm not sure how to answer that. Anyway, I'll hang around until midnight. Though, if you're tired of talking, I can head home. No, I'm not tired at all. In fact, I'd love to talk to you on. I'd love to take you on. Cool. I'm glad you've got energy, but don't overdo it. Wouldn't want you splitting the earth open, or something like that. I wouldn't do something that excessive. Jeez, what do you take me for? You seem to have a pretty warped immersion of me. No, I think it's accurate. You're a vampire who has no clue how to hold back. Time to barrage her with questions. What do I want to know about vampires, in detail as possible? I can't ask about the 7 ancestors? What are the 7 ancestors? Her battle attire when we fought Vlav. Tell us about vampires in more excruciating detail. I need to know more about vampires. The sire and their zombie minions. I'll ask more about their hierarchy. Huh? You're interested in the most mundane stuff? Well, sorry, you're the one who said we should start with the basics. No, that's what what I've come to expect from primators who built the pyramids with nothing but ropes and rocks. Steady and to the point. Alright, then time for the intimate course on vampires. Vampire Society. I don't really feel like talking this class, but I'm the one who asked in the first place. Time to be a good student and listen carefully to Miss Arcute's lecture. Starting from the beginning would take way too long, so let's talk about what I'm after. The Dead Apostles. Most Dead Apostles are the older type of vampire, and the way they reproduce and procreate maybe is by drinking blood. You already know all this by now, yeah? Yeah, Castellans and their minions, right? Like a queen ant and her swarm of worker ants. That's honestly pretty much the basic gist of it. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. And within the swarm are different kinds of workers. Honestly, it's more like bees. Kind of a queen bee and a bunch of other different types of bees. I told you before, but I'll go over the ranks again. Where did you pull that whiteboard from, man? Rank 1 are the zombies. Their puppets can only blindly follow their master's orders without any commands. They just become regular old corpses. In other words, they're grunts that had their blood drunk and were given blood in return. They're the first of what we call the dead. Next rank, ghouls. They possess a will of their own, but they lack the capacity for complex thought. They're able to mimic the appearance that they had while alive. They don't thanks to the magical energy of their master, but they're completely destroyed on the inside. Their brains are decaying, so they seek out blood, so instinct alone, much more violent than rank is. I guess you could call them infantry. We call these the dead too. Rank 3, undead. This is when we can start calling them vampire. The living dead, while they won't be the same cognitive abilities they had while alive, they're able to mimic human behavior on their own. These are elite infantry who've had their brains restructured post-mortem. They can handle sunlight too, but if you don't do something to prevent them from rotting, it will become pretty obvious what they are. This is also the last of what we call the dead. I see. Those dead things have their own ranks too. I guess as they get higher in rank, they go from being regular corpses to moving ones. Though I'm curious about something. Ranking system aside, who came up with these names anyway? Was it you? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the church decided most of them. Eventually, the word of the magecraft adopted the names out of convenience. Question is, who in the church popularized the terms? Though I guess that doesn't really matter. Rank 4, Nightkin. They're undead who keep the personality they had when they were alive, and basically acted as a vampire, unappreciated vampires. In exchange for inhuman power, they suffer from an all-consuming cold and thirst. They are half-grown, low-ranking elites. If rank 4 or above feeds slowly enough, their victim will start as a vampire of this rank. At this level, they'll get anemic symptoms from the sunlight, but it won't burn them. This is where the world of magecraft will stop considering them a person. Appreciate vampires, so they're not counted as one of the dead. Nope. Starting with rank 4, vampires can survive even away from their sire. This is also the rank where, in the eyes, victims graduate from things to beings. Only about 1 in 1,000 get to this rank. Next, we've got rank 5, Nightmares. They have all the strength of a rank 4, but though the cures in the strong blood, they're able to use special powers, which can be either innate or originates from their sire. Nightmares are high-ranking elites, fully developed vampires. Last is rank 6, Dead Apostles. These are fully anonymous. They can sire offspring from humans by drinking their blood or corrupting them, but they can't create anything above rank 5. This is as high as the upstarts can go. You could say they're something on the level of a Seattle. They're walking catastrophe that sire servants and turn the village into their personal buffet table. The vampire here in town is of this rank. And that's the spell on the Dead Apostle class system. Any questions? What rank was Vlav? He was rank 4, a Dead Apostle, of course. In his case, he skipped a few levels, but I'll tell you about that another time. One more question then. This is what I'm really curious about. You said it's a class system, but who decided it? Or what? If a vampire collects blood to create allies, why set it up like that? No, that's a good question. That's their greatest weakness, or rather, their defining characteristic. Not all humans have their blood sucked by a Dead Apostle turned into vampires. And Dead Apostles don't just turn anyone into vampires. Creating minions and feeding are two separate things. If a human has their blood drained, they'll die as a human. But if you give them a Dead Apostle's blood, at the moment, they'll die after being dominated by that blood. Then, they'll come back to life as a vampire fully cursed. The different ranks represent the death of that curse. So that means, So that man from before didn't die and then happened to get brought back? He walked by his sire explicitly to turn him? Exactly. It's not easy making minions, either. A vampire can't just sire a coven all at once. If you want to make a rank 1 zombie, all you have to do is give some blood and force them into being a soldier. But once you get to rank 2 and above, you have to start worrying about your victims' individual strengths. They need the right amplitude. Amplitude? What do you mean? Sufficient immunity to vampire blood, I guess. Most humans can't handle it. That's why the majority can be forced to adopt a vampire's traits with just some blood. It's like a disease that causes a person's body to move after death. That doesn't make for a very good servant. For a sire. Underlings who can think and act on their own are for more ideal. More time spent giving orders means less time for yourself, you know? Can't argue with that. She did mention that vampires are usually sleeping in their coffins. Apparently those that have lived a long time aren't very economical in their energy usage, which is why they need a way to gather blood without expending their own resources. They have to spend energy just to command their helpers. It defeats the entire purpose of having them. Humans with the right altitude are able to resist the vampire's curse. After that, it's up to their ability to survive. Whether they'll let themselves lose to the vampire's blood, or be reborn as a vampire in their own right. The bodies that have been found around the town are those who had some altitude, but still died. Ultimately, they end up as corpses and get left behind where they were killed. If you become a living dead, you just get up and move, but if you fail to turn, you're not exactly going anywhere soon, right? Oh, if the victim becomes a zombie, there's no body to find. Bingo, the victims that make the news are actually the minority. They were attacked because they were thought to have the right altitude, but they ended up dying as humans. About one in 100 humans possess that altitude, and then only those who are able to withstand that foreign blood become vampires of rank 4 or above. Okay, but how do I know if I have that, like, type of altitude to survive? Like, is it dependent on blood type? I remember what Arku. Oh, wait. Can I put it on auto? Expending their own resources. If they have to spend energy to command helpers, it's the purpose. Bodies have been found in the town. Ultimately, up as corpses and get left behind where they were killed. If you become a living dead, you'd end up, just get up and move. But if you fail to turn, you're not exactly going anywhere soon, right? Oh. Oh, if the victim... I remember Arcade said about that, Sire Morkin. Vampires must think of their minions and their offspring differently. The zombie and Arcade disposed earlier was nothing more than a minion. Then, that man from before died a long time ago? And was working for the vampires without realizing it. Some ranks don't realize what's happening. At rank 1, they're nothing more than moving puppets, but rank 3 and above still have functioning brains. They serve their master knowing exactly what they've become. They kill of their own accord, and harvest blood for their master. It can't be right. Not only are they killed, but then they're brought back as a moving corpse? There's no way they'd be willing to follow the person who did that to them. I've heard of I need a drink after this. My throat's getting pretty dry. I've heard some of the dead say things to that effect while begging for their lives. That they'd be killed if they rebelled. That they were just following orders. In other words, they kill because they don't want to die themselves. How is that any different from killing of their own accord? The dead who are still self-aware still insist that they had no choice. That they had to do what they did. But that's wrong. They have the option of resisting their master and dying, yet instead they choose to murder those who were once their own kin just to save themselves? So it doesn't make much of a difference to me in the end, since I'll kill anyone who's connected to the dead apostle. I've got nothing to say in response. Arcade is right. What she says makes complete sense. But it's the logic of a vampire, of a powerful being. Humans don't have the privilege of living that justify, or of seeing things in black and white. Let me make this clear. A vampire's minions are free to defy it. The dead apostles give them free will, so one day they'll rise up against them. That's how Vlov became a dead apostle himself, by killing his sire. You should remember this, Shiki. Vampires that can be classified as dead apostles love humans. Or maybe... No. Or maybe I should say they love human qualities. That's why they can be so utterly cruel. There are species on the planet best suited to causing suffering for suffering's sake. You're the only one, in fact. human qualities, like intelligence and emotion, I guess. Like Arkut said, humans can't comprehend the deaf and inanimate object, and the flip side of that inanimate object, and animals can't comprehend the depth of a human. The depth of emotion and suffering of the mind are pleasures only humans can enjoy. They give them free will just so they can torture them. I don't get it. Why would vampires do that? What do they get even out of doing it? I won't pretend that vampires don't have warped tastes. But that's only dead apostles. Those who were vampires from the start usually don't do stuff like that. Huh? Those who were vampires from the start. Come to think of it, you did mention that there's two types of vampires. Humans who were turned into vampires, and those who were vampires from the very beginning. Does that mean dead apostles are humans who were turned into vampires? In a word, yes. That can include those that became immortals as the result of magecraft, or those who had their blood sucked by a true ancestor and returned into their servant. Shiki, you may not like that they're using people like the man we saw, but it could be a lot worse. You couldn't imagine the things some dead apostles do for fun. You mean they kill humans to make them into their playthings? Well, you're not wrong. In the mind of a dead apostle, amusement is as necessary as breathing. After going from a mortal life to something near immortality, imperfect as it is, their greatest enemy becomes boredom. Since unlike us, they attained immortality without any specific purpose, they lose most worldly desires. They lose most worldly desires the moment they get what they want. Their ultimate goal was immortality, so I guess it's only natural. They do all that because they're bored? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What else do they do if they don't age or don't die? That seems like enough to me. It's just the thing, it was enough. But then they lost their reason for living. Now, consciousness of their own worthlessness, of their halted lives, the act of living lost all purpose. Fearing their own destruction, they connected their own form of entertainment, all to convince themselves that they are still alive, that there's something worth living for. That was the genesis of Tsukihime. So they started a game to see which king could get the biggest castle. Kingdoms of the dead, to put it bluntly, of all things, the pastime they found most stimulating. I told you, didn't I? They're just mimicking humans. For the sake of their own amusement, dead apostles give their blood to humans they've killed. Fewer than 1 in 10,000 are able to beat the odds, ascend through the ranks, kill their master, and become a new dead apostle. Knights become lords through distinguished service. Then they dispose their former rulers. Without this game, they couldn't bear to live. Maybe that's a sign of how light those demons view existence. They may be undying and unaging, but without that raison d'être, they may as well be dust in the wind. Arkud shrugs her shoulders like she can't believe how stupid it all is. She may be one of them, but it seems she doesn't share their tastes. The hands on the clock have reached their zenith. While we were talking, midnight snuck up on us. Oh, looks like it's almost tomorrow already. As much as I'd like to stay, you need some rest. I'm still good though. Trust me, that's all your head. That's all in your head. Say goodbye for tonight. Besides, we'll see each other tomorrow. Arkud begins moving away with a little dance step, still looking my way. Tomorrow. Wait, we haven't even set a place to meet up. Hey! Let's do here. Around 10 o'clock. Should be good. Good night, Shiki. See you tomorrow. There's no stopping her. After offering a cheerful wave, she departs. What? Mind wants to complain, but the heart just isn't in it. She may be trouble. But even more than that, she's cute. What was with that expression? She's dangerous. How could I ever miss our plans if she's going to look at me like that? I make it back to the mansion. Not a single light brightens the building. Door isn't locked. I guess Hisui left it open for me. I let out a great sigh. So, as not to wake up anyone, I end up tiptoeing to my room. You. Never sigh. This time, from relief, escapes as I settle onto the bed. Arkud was right. My body is thoroughly exhausted. It feels like the mattress is sucking me in. Still laying down, I let out a massive breath. Again, I'm working with Arkud. Fate just keeps dragging me back into her blast radius. But what choice do I have? I couldn't just let her be. Or maybe I don't want to. Maybe I'm drawn to her, to all her beauty, and all her inhumanity. How stupid of me. I've already killed once with these hands. So what am I losing my mind over? The reason I'm even touching this vampire hunting business is for the city I call home. I don't want to die, so I had to help out. Yeah, that's all there is to it. I close my eyes. Glasses off. Sleep takes over me. A giant hand pulling my body and my consciousness into a deep darkness. Whatever happens, I'll be fighting alongside her again. Right now, I should just get ready for tomorrow. Okay. Ooh. mystic eyes, depth perception too. With this, we will now end stream. So now I will bid you farewell. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.